Hi guys, welcome to this follow-up video on the installation of my Martech airbag suspension kit thingy bobby, which I purchased on eBay. Now, if you've watched the original installation, then you will know what I'm talking about in the next few minutes. If you haven't, why not? But anyway, I had a little concern in the fact that there was a gap. This is an airbag. There was a gap between this top plate and this bottom plate here on one side of the airbag. I fitted the airbag thinking that's all right, you know, no big deal. But it started to play on my mind a lot afterwards. It's been working fine. I haven't really used the vehicle much, but it doesn't leak. It's absolutely fine. So I decided to contact Martech, and I believe his name is Martin. Now, bearing in mind, I fitted all this and then I've rung up and said to him, look, it's got a crack, it's got a gap in the plate. Oh, I'm not happy. So initially he was a little bit anxious in the fact that, you know, I should have just returned it when I bought it if I wasn't happy with it. And in actual fact, he's spot on in what he's saying. But I was fortunate enough that because I'd videoed it and photographed the airbag before fitting it, that he kindly decided quite soon on to send me a replacement airbag. So he sent me this was a week or so after the install, but I've been so busy I've just not had a chance to get around to doing it. So he sent me out a new replacement airbag with a valve attached, which I didn't ask for, but I don't want to change the valve that's on the old one. So that's all done and dusted. So let's just have a quick look under the vehicle before I remove it, and I'll show you hopefully the crack that I'm talking about. Okay, so it's the left rear airbag that's in question, and basically if you look here, you can see I can get my nail in there. There's a gap. It doesn't go all the way around, but there is a gap there. The bag isn't inflated at the moment because I've got the vehicle jacked up. Now, it didn't leak. I imagine that this rubber bag has a flange which comes in and sits between those two plates, and when they're screwed together, pressurizes it. So I was worried that if it's loose, it could pop out, and if you go over a bump or something like that, the pressure might just cause the airbag to pop. So like I say, Martin was absolutely incredible and sent me out the new one. So I'm going to do the swap over now, which should be quite straightforward. Now, to remove the airbag, there are two 13 mils at the bottom, one here, one on the other side, and there's one up the top there, and there's one around the back there. I inflated the airbag, and then I put a jack underneath on the leaf spring, and I've now let the air out of the airbag, so it's quite soft and pliable. It should be quite straightforward. I'm going to undo the two bolts at the bottom, the two bolts at the top. I'm going to separate my pipe work up here, which is all very neatly done, I might say. Fortunately, I was careful enough to leave a bit of extra pipe, so I should just be able to cut off the old pipe from the end of the airbag and use it to insert on the new one. So let's have a little go at that. Now, should be able to just slide it out. Now there is still some air in it, I think. want to drop that down like that, and then just take the light away. And then I'm going to cut the pipe. I can't show you that bit, unfortunately. Right, I'm going to cut the pipe right at the valve. Like so. And then I can crush the bag down now and bring it out. Okay, so that's the airline that I've just cut with a knife. Good idea that when you're doing your install, leave yourself a bit of extra pipe. Don't pull your pipes too tight, because if you ever come to change the airbags later on anyway, through wear and tear for example, you're going to need to cut the pipe to fit it onto a new valve, which means you're going to need some slack in the run. So make sure you do that. Fortunately I did that, so I haven't got any problem with reconnection. And this is the airbag that I have removed, so you can see better now that gap all the way around there, and then it closes up there on the other side. It's pretty tight all the way across. So let's fit the new one. Okay, so I'm going to pull that cable back like that. I'm going to put my shroud. I've trimmed my pipe up as well a little bit because I hadn't cut it too, it wasn't square enough for my liking. So I'm now going to pop my airbag up here like that. I don't think I'm going to be able to show you the fitting. A little bit like mine. Oh, I can see. There you go. Okay, that's on. Beautiful. It's pushed properly on that valve, and it's tightening up slowly. That's an 8mm nut on there. Just going to tighten that up. Yeah, can't stress enough how important it is you leave yourself some slack in your airlines when you're installing, just so when this situation happens and you want to change, you've only got to cut off like 1/2 centimetre of pipe, but when you're losing that each time, it won't be long before you're going to be caught out and not have enough run to do it. And it is a little fiddly putting it back. That's tight. Right, now that goes around there like that. That goes like that. And the airbag is sitting in its hole. So I shall line up. Where's that hole? Oh, right there. So that one is there somewhere. tie. Now they're all nipped down, I'll give them a good tighten. So, nipped up 1, 2, 3 and 4. Put a replacement cable tie up there, just holding the cables. You can probably see in there better than I can. Nothing's rubbing, all nice and tight and fitted in. So now I'm just going to blow the airbag up so I can get my jack out, and then we'll test it properly. That's currently at 5 psi. Move the jack out. What I will do is leave it inflated now for a couple of days. I won't be moving the van till Tuesday. It's Sunday now, so I'll leave it. I'm just going to put a bit more in it. It feels quite hard, and then we'll let it down. That's nearly 7 psi, which is as far as you really want to go. That'll be like a rock. Yeah. So I'm going to let it down. I'll leave it with a couple of psi in it, just to make sure we haven't got any leaks, but so far so good. That's sitting with 2 psi in it, and I've done the same with the other side. So, replacement airbag fitted. A big thumbs up and respect to Martech for sending me out another one, considering I had fitted the original one, which I thought wasn't up to standard. You can see, where is it? I've lost it. Where is it? There it is. You can see the gap right there. So I don't know if he wants this back or not yet, but Martin, thank you very much. So guys, as far as a confidence issue is concerned, if you have any problems with anything that you get from them, they're more than happy to address your problems and sort it out. But don't do what I did and fit a part you think to be suspect. Just send it back straight away and it'll be dealt with a whole lot quicker. But thanks again for watching. So safety first. Stupid idea of mine to attempt to fit this knowing that it wasn't quite right, especially on something like suspension. Thanks for watching. Martech Systems, excellent job. And so far, it's all looking lovely. So thanks a lot. Take care guys. Catch you soon on the next one. Got some great stuff coming up. I am going to be fitting a tow bar soon because I am in the middle of purchasing a rack for the back of the Ducato so I can carry this little toy. So that's the plan anyway. A little tip as well, when you're raising your suspension on your air, do it with the engine running because it does cane the battery quite substantially. I started doing it without, but kicked it in afterwards. Just takes that load off the battery and helps counteract what you're drawing. Take care, thanks for watching. See you in the next one. Bye. What should I do with this then? I know I shouldn't, but I'm tempted to hang on to it as an emergency spare. What? What happened to safety first? My God. That's it. I'm definitely going to keep it as a spare. What the hell?